The buyer is never on your timetable. Delays, postponement, cancellations are the bane of the sales life. Buyers believe there is no cost to saying no. Today, we explore how to change that thinking and get a yes. Welcome back to year 4 of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which we release every Monday. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, master trainer, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. My new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be released soon. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center here in Akasaka, in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? We are looking at giving you a big edge in business in Japan. Let's all be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. This is episode number 191. Buyers have no urgency, so we have to create it. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Having a buying need and doing something about it can often be quite disparate ideas. There are many things we would all like to do in business to grow our companies. The constraints are usually money and people. The lack of resources holds us back, and so we persevere, always hoping that somehow we'll be able to bridge that gap between where we are now and where we want to be. At the CEO level, we are always focused on the strategy for the company and the future goals. This is something that occupies a lot of thinking time. Once you get below that level, the intensity drops off. The CFO is thinking about this quarter or this year, worried about the finances, the cash flow, the ability to find the funds to invest, the analyst reports, etc. If we are talking about line managers, they are concerned with meeting their targets and keeping their good people and getting rid of the not so good people. HR has a very curious take on all of this. Basically, they don't care all that much. They have a functional role here in Japan and are the rule police. Sometimes they have to respond to internal demands and go and source resources in the form of people or training, but generally they are passive. When the buyer is looking at the gap between where they are now and where they want to be, and they judge it is pretty close, they don't feel any urgency or need to buy. They will have certain drivers pushing them along in their role in the business. But this gap perception component is key in selling to buyers. If we can't show the opportunity cost of no action is too high, then they are not inspired to do anything. Doing nothing or doing what you have always done are the easiest decisions for any buyer. They are always time poor, and a purchase decision usually comes wrapped in other tasks that will need attention as a consequence of making that buying decision. Not buying isn't always about the money. Often it can be hesitancy around the Pandora's box of extra workload this buying decision will trigger. It could be the lack of resources to make the most of the benefits of the purchase. And this is what is also holding them back. We have to draw out the implications of taking no action, of doing nothing. When and how we do that. In the questioning stage, we can draw attention to the size of the gap Now, if we say, that is a pretty big gap you have there and you should fix that, they doubt us. We're salespeople, so the buyer is always mentally dismissing everything we say as fluffy sales talk. We need them to tell us the gap is big and needs attention. Also, that is, needs attention right now. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to sell more and do it more easily, do the Winning with Relationships selling course. If you can't build trust, no sale. Can't design excellent questions to understand the client's needs, no sale. Can't present the solution convincingly, no sale. Can't handle objections properly, no sale. Can't close, no sale. Master the sales process by doing the Winning with Relationships selling course now in either Japanese or English. The bestseller, Japan Sales Mastery, is the new Bible of selling in Japan. To sell to Japanese buyers, you need to create long-term partner-level trust, fully understand Japanese buyers' real needs, convince buyers with your solutions, overcome their hesitation, fear, and doubt, know how to ask for the order, ensure repeat orders. This book is the product of 30 plus years in the trenches selling in Japan. Order Japan Sales Mastery now. Welcome back. When we are discussing the should-be question, where they want to be in the future, we need to add a little question to this process. We ask where they want to be, and then we follow up their answer by asking them what happens if you can't get there fast enough. It is not useful to ask them what happens if they cannot get there, because as far as they are concerned, they can get there by themselves. No, instead, we draw their attention to the speed factor. No one ever gets there as fast as they want, so it automatically opens up the idea of a gap that needs addressing. Also, the current speed they are traveling at will always be their maximum speed. So we are there to help them speed things up. When we are asking about the barrier question along the lines of, if you know where you are now and you know where you want to be, why aren't you there yet? We have another chance to emphasize that they need our help to achieve their goals. We find out what is the obstacle holding them back, and then we ask the gap widener, what happens if you cannot clear that obstacle? Again, we are trying to demonstrate that maybe they cannot do it all by themselves or do it fast enough, and they need us in that equation to make it work. When we ask about the personal payoff for them, if we are successful, after their answer, we need to get them to reflect on the downside for them personally if it doesn't happen or doesn't happen fast enough. We ask, so if the targets are not met, what does that mean for you personally? In Japan, buyers rarely ever attach any personal gain to success, and we'll talk in general terms of the group. In this case, we need to reference what will it mean to the team if the goals are not met. It is the same idea, just asked in a different way. If we try to point out these aspects, which won't work, well, we won't be believed. We have to get them to tell us it won't work under their own steam at the current pace with the current resources and investment. Once we get them thinking about that gap, we can start suggesting when we present the solution that we are the cure for all their ills. We have the ability to help them where they want to be faster and more smoothly. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and so please subscribe on YouTube. Share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Our website details are on screen now, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It's awesome value, so please check it out. We try to offer as much value as possible, so you might also enjoy our other shows. In fact, we are releasing content 6 days a week. For podcasts, Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, Tuesday for the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday for the Business Touches in No Share show, Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series, Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series, every second Thursday for the Business Pro Podcasto show, Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery show, and Saturdays for Japan's top business interviews, wherever you get your podcast. Also, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television show. Every Friday, the Japan Business Mastery show, and every Saturday, Japan's top business interviews on YouTube. We appreciate your support. Please let others know about it so they can benefit too. We want to make a contribution to helping people build their careers and businesses, and please join us in that endeavor. In episode number 192, we are talking about staff shortages change the business dynamic entirely. So, yoroshiku, onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you. We've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.